An interview, and there was something weird behind you. What was that?
Carrie Cassidy from Project Camelot, who did the interview, she said, "John, there were two grays that were peering over your right shoulder." It's the first recorded interview in history that aliens actually appeared during the interview.
John and Joyce Edmonds have always wanted a Western-style ranch. The couple hope to retire in a peaceful environment. John was once a therapist and Joyce, a recently retired FBI agent. On moving day, John and Joyce were shocked to find the former tenant's possessions left behind. Frustrated, the couple reached out to the real estate company and informed them that the previous tenants left behind their belongings.
Hi there, and welcome to the Richard Barron channel. Tonight, we'll be talking about Stardust Ranch and its mysterious past. But first, please remember to like and subscribe. It's a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
The Gulf Carrier. Home to mysterious and unique paranormal activity. With a history of sightings of UFOs and unearthly beings, Stardust Ranch has gained a reputation for being a one-of-a-kind destination for the adventurous. Located in Rainbow Valley, Arizona, and owned by the Edmonds family, Stardust Ranch has been the setting for many supernatural sightings.
According to its owner, John Edmonds, Stardust Ranch also has one quality you won't find anywhere else.
Well, we have two alien portals. We have one in the front and one in the back.
Frustrated, the couple reached out to the real estate company and informed them that the previous tenants left behind their belongings. They were assured that all of the belongings would be removed in just a few hours or so. Eventually, all the belongings were removed. The Edmonds went out to run a few errands, but once they returned back home, they noticed that the belongings were simply just tossed into the couple's pool. John, now beyond irritated, decided to call the Realtor hotline phone number, but was quickly told their ranch was sold as is. Once the Edmonds removed all the former tenants' belongings from their pool, John noticed a strange man carrying a large sword. John asked the stranger if he could help him find something. In return, the man claimed to have resided on the property. John said he and his wife were now the new owners of the ranch, and they did not have a need for an additional resident on the premises. The man respectfully accepted John's wishes, but he quickly responded to John and said,
You're going to live to regret this, and there are monsters on the property,
And I killed them.
After a while, John noticed orbs of light drifting above the ranch. Glowing UFOs were visibly spotted, and shadow specters running from room to room inside the home. John attempted to overlook the unusual activity to a figment of his imagination, but as soon as their ranch, dogs started turning up disintegrated. He began to panic. John began to ponder how on earth was this happening to their animals, and how on earth was this conducted. Unfortunately, this was just the beginning. Missing body parts would begin to turn up on a regular routine. After a while, crazier figures started to manifest in their bedroom. The Edmonds began to experience visits from gray aliens. At first, the couple chalked it up as nightmares. Joyce first thought she had a dream about someone injecting an object into her forearm, but when she awakened that morning, she realized there was a scar left over from what she thought was a dream. The leftover mark was enough for John and Joyce to realize this was for real. After several days, John and Joyce heard their dogs barking, aggressively out by their kennel. John would go out to investigate in an effort to see what the fuss was all about.
Followed by orange orbs. That's when the uninvited guests arrived.
Literally gray aliens that attacked animals. They were in the house.
John recalls one unforgettable experience involving gray aliens attacking his wife.
Actually levitated her out of the bed in the master chamber out into the parking lot and tried to draw her up into a crash.
He was astonished to find a deceased gray alien lying on the ground. It appeared the dogs had defended their territory and attacked the visitor to its death. The Edmonds agreed that the horrific nightmares they were having of the Greys
were indeed true, and believed the beings had sinister intentions. For John and Joyce, this meant war.
The couple already had an arsenal of guns, ammo, and an array of Japanese swords. John was met with success in keeping the beings away from their homestead. John believes the aliens were able to open portals from other unknown dimensions. John would battle these aliens for months at a time. Unexpectedly, one of the beings manifested before John's eyes. But he quickly attacked the creature. Appearing to have injured the invader, it vanished into thin air. To his followers on social media, John shared images of his bloody sword. John allegedly claims to have killed 18 entities, claiming if you don't remove the head, the bodies will disappear or phone home. After growing amount of evidence, the Edmonds sought out scientific evidence to help prove that these attacks were real. They contacted a scientist who was a practicing physicist and a crop circle investigator, Dr. W. Levengood. Levengood was a peer-reviewed scientist and a ufologist by hobby. John allowed Levengood to run blood tests from the sword he had used to kill the gray aliens. Within the samples that he had tested, the doctor believed he had indisputable proof of extraterrestrial blood, due to elements of hemoglobin, which is found extraterrestrial objects. Levengood was excited to share this information with his colleagues and the scientific community. However, unfortunately for the Edmonds, Dr. Levengood died unexpectedly at the information from Levengood's research would end due to his passing, and with no apprentice to continue his findings. Many conspirators and ufologists contemplated Dr. Levengood's work and wondered if his conclusions were extraordinaire, which perhaps may have put his own life at risk. Although his family repudiated these claims and stated that his death was unrelated to his research, the Edmonds would attempt to have other specialists review their evidence. But unfortunately, nobody wanted to get tainted with such claims, and the ones who would agree demanded massive amounts of monetary compensation. John and Joyce decided to obtain other methods of evidence by ghost hunters and through other paranormal investigations, such as psychics and ufologists, with convincing photos, testimonies, and audio-video evidence. It consequently attracted more debunkers rather than producing a smoking gun for the existence of extraterrestrial dimensional beings. Unfortunately for the Edmonds, John would continue battling the beings for years to come. Why does the paranormal gravitate to Stardust Ranch? John believes that there are interdimensional portals on the ranch that the beings use to travel in and out of, kind of like a wormhole. If you're familiar with the northeastern Utah Skinwalker Ranch, you will find similarities between Stardust Ranch. Ironically, when the Edmonds listed the property for sale for approximately $2 million, it attracted an aerospace tycoon by the name of Robert Bigelow. Unfortunately, for John and Joyce, Mr. Bigelow would ultimately pass on the purchase of Stardust Ranch. Currently, the Edmonds have continued to fight off aliens and the paranormal, but feel that they are suffering from in their advancing age. As of now, the ranch allows brave visitors by appointment who dare to spend a night at the property. Stardust Ranch has now been relisted for $5 million. Well, what do you think? Would you book an appointment at Stardust Ranch? Or if by chance you had an extra $5 million lying around, would you perhaps be interested in investing in producing evidence of extraterrestrial, trans, dimensional beings? If so, let me know in the comments down below. Please remember like or subscribe to our channel. It's a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot.
I grabbed a sword and I killed all three of them.
You killed all three of them?
Three of the guys.